This is Border Crossings. My name is Larry London, and I'll join you today as we welcome one of Israel's most successful composer-performers to our studios. Idan Rachel is not only accomplished in his native Israel, but he's also attracted many fans around the world. He has recorded with many different musicians from a variety of locations across the globe. 95 musicians have performed with Idan, and his latest CD is called the Idan Rachel Project. 4 studio CDs of original material and live recordings, adding up to over 2 million digital downloads. His videos have been viewed over 110 million times on YouTube. Idan has performed for a U.S. president and held concerts from Peru to Portugal. Today, he's on our stage to perform several songs and to tell us his unique and interesting story. Idan Rachel, today's guest on Border Crossings. Hi, welcome to Border Crossings. My name is Larry London, and on tour for his latest album, Idan Rachel is in our studios. He's here in Washington, D.C. It's the Idan Rachel Project, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is album number 4 for you?
It's a fourth for the Idan Rachel Project, and another solo project, and another 2 solos. But first of all, hello.
Hello. Shalom.
Shalom.
Welcome, all the way from Israel.
Yes, all the way.
And how many times have you been in the U.S.?
Many times, at least twice a year. Yeah.
And you tour while you're here every time? Or?
Yeah, touring, playing. Very lucky. Every concert here is a total miracle for me. That people are actually coming to listen to, to music from far away. It's a very warm welcome every time we're coming here. Even an interview like this is a miracle. You could have interviewed an American singer.
No, it's a pleasure to have somebody who's actually a worldwide star to come into our studios and join us.
Thank you.
You've had hundreds of millions of views on YouTube, and you've won all kinds of awards. MTV gave you an award. In fact, I think you got an award from Alicia Keys. Didn't she present you with an award?
Indeed. She became a great friend of mine, and It's been a very interesting 15 years. The Idan Rachel Project was founded 15 years ago.
Oh,
and it was all about bringing artists from different parts of the world to play together. Mm-hmm. The youngest member it's over 150 musicians. The youngest is 16, and the young spirits, I would say, 83 and 91 years old. And they all came from different parts of the world. Mm-hmm. Also from America, but from Yemen, from Ethiopia, from Cape Verde, from Germany, from Colombia. Mm-hmm. And in every song in the Idan Rachel Project is sang by different lead singer and played by different musicians. Mm-hmm. And only the past 2 years I'm doing a bit solo.
Wow. 65 musicians, I guess? About 65, I read?
65 musicians that were recently on the 2 last albums, but it's all together for the past 15 years. It's almost 150 musicians.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is it hard for you to work with people from other cultures, other countries that don't necessarily speak the same language?
I feel that there is something in common. All of them are very first proud of the place that they came from, and they feel that they are scoring the soundtrack of the place that they are coming from. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter even when you listen to Edith Piaf and you hear the streets of Paris, mm-hmm. or Bob Marley from Jamaica. So I also feel that when I worked with Indy Ari, that she's very connected to Atlanta, Georgia, or even Alicia Keys to New York, mm-hmm. or Andreas Scholl. I worked with him, an opera singer from Germany.
Wow.
Or Ethiopian Mulugeta Tedesse, a violin player from villages of Ethiopia. Mm-hmm. So I think that what makes them, I think that there is something on the DNA of the music that they are all playing. That is something about that is similar.
And when you work with a musician who has a different genre, different style, classical music or something else, you obviously have to change what you do.
I just play louder.
You play louder.
Just kidding. No,
that's funny.
It's about being very open, mm-hmm. and to go into the studio and just to let the moment happen.
Has it always been music for you? Has that been your love from
mostly
childhood?
real estate?
Real estate?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was always music.
A joker.
always music. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you started at 9, I guess, to actually
Yeah.
take this seriously?
I played when I started 9. I played the accordion, which is
The uncoolest instrument, you said.
Yes, definitely.
How did you get to the accordion?
It's mostly an instrument that you don't pick, that your mama is picking is picking up for you. You know, like she decided you play the accordion. So my mom picked the accordion for me, and I played accordion. And I started piano very late, when I was 16. But when I was 25, I thought to myself that I was lucky that accordion was the first instrument. It always kept my ears and my heart very open to music from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
It always sounds different, from the tango of Argentina to the waltzes of France, or even the hora dancing, the Israeli folk. Is all based on accordion.
Yeah, I was going to ask, as a young person playing accordion growing up in Israel, if you were playing other kinds of music other than just your native music. I mean, back in Israel, the home music, is that what you learned to play, or obviously you played everything?
I played accordion and music from all over the world, and I started my to play my compositions only when I was 25. Before that, I was kind of a session musician for different singers and different situations. I played the keyboard and accordion.
You do it all.
Uh
The accordion, the keyboard, the piano, you write songs, you sing, you produce, you do it all.
Yeah, but I think that it's. I always feel that maybe the good thing that I can do is to do a bit from everything. I'm not the most amazing producer that you can find. You can find better pianist than me, better lyricist, but there is something on the overall that makes it happen somehow.
Well, we're very lucky to have you in our studios.
Thank you for having me.
I know it was a long drive from New York to come in at an early hour of the morning.
You're talking about the drive from New York. Imagine how I'm coming from Israel, just to remind you.
You didn't drive from Israel.
Yeah. Driving from New York is not a big deal. Try to take the flight twice a year, like back and forth. Yeah.
We've got Idan Rachel in the studio. Would you mind doing a song for us? We'd like to hear some music.
Yes, sure.
What are you going to do?
So I was wondering what to play. I thought, you know what? I'll start with something in Hebrew, short in Hebrew, and later on, I'll see also something in English.
So
maybe.
Since most of the audience don't understand Hebrew and won't understand, what are you singing about? What's this story?
This is a love song that based on the book of Psalms. Out of the depth, I cry to you, O Lord. So out of the depth, I cry to you, my love. Yeah, ממעמקים. ממעמקים קראתי אלייך, בואי אליי, בשובך יחזור, שוב האור בעיניי. לא גמור, לא עוזב המגע בידייך, שיבוא ויעיר, למשמע קול צחוקך. ממעמקים קראתי אלייך, בואי אליי, מול ירח מאיר את דרכך שוב אליי. נפרסו ונמסו מול מגע של ידייך, באוזנייך לוחש שואל, מי זה קורא לך הלילה, הקשיבי, מי שר בקול אלייך אל חלונך, מי שם נפשו שתהי מאושרת, מי ישים יד ויבנה את ביתך, מי ייתן חייו ישימה מתחתייך, מי כעפר לרגלייך יחיה, מי יאהבך עוד מכל אוהבייך, מי מכל רוח רעה יצילך, ממעמקים.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very, very nice.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful song. So when you're writing songs, are you writing about things you observe, things that you've lived, a combination? Where do you get your inspiration for creating music?
Mostly by conversations. I think that I love documentaries, just to watch documentaries, the real stories of people. I think that if you keep your ears and your heart and your eyes open, there are stories everywhere. And you know it. you know it well. You're interviewing so many people, and I think that almost every situation can become a song if you are sensitive enough. If you still open up yourself and be with empathy to the person that is in front of you.
What is your favorite part of this business? Is it the songwriting or performing, singing, all of it? Do you have a favorite part?
The only when I cannot the favorite part of when you feel that there is a magic. That's it. Just the magic. It can be from writing a song, from a melody that comes up, from a young girl that suddenly has tears in her eyes. You know, when she sings a song, when someone writes you a letter, that song touched him. When you play in a hospital to someone, and when you're becoming the soundtrack of someone, it's just little sparks and magic. It's not about specific.
What's the music scene like in Israel? I mean, we don't know much here in the United States about what's going on other than the news headlines, which are not always very flattering. So what's the music scene like in the...
It's a very good question, because this is the most important thing that I think that the Idan Rachel Project contributed to the change of the face of the Israeli the music scene, the radio, the mainstream radio. Why? Why is that? Because when I started 15 years ago, you would turn on the radio, the mainstream radio, you would listen mostly to Hebrew, our language, Hebrew mainstream songs, or mostly influenced by American pop or European pop, and you would hear the A-list, top list American artists. And then the Idan Rachel Project, when we started to release our songs, it was very important for me that every singer will sing in his own native language. And suddenly, I cannot explain why, but the DJs at the radios picked those songs to the Israeli mainstream radio. So suddenly, on the prime time of the radios, you would listen to songs of ours that suddenly a song the lead singer is singing in Arabic, or in Amharic, the Ethiopian language, or in Yemenite tongue, and suddenly you would start listening to the voices of the minorities on the radio. Now, it was so unreal that you can compare it. Imagine that, I don't know, in the middle of Manhattan, there is a radio, that there is a band that sings, the singer sings in Cantonese from China, and there is a tabla player from India, an accordion player from Italy, and a violin player from Iran, and they're playing together, and suddenly it beats the charts of Beyonce and Rihanna. It sounds almost unreal. You would think maybe it will be in a show that is dedicated to sounds from world music songs. So I think that this is the biggest change that we made at the Israeli music scene, because today when everyone that will come to Israel will be very surprised how it is diverse, because I think that nowadays the radio reflects the sound of the melting pot, the sound of our multicultural nation.
That's very healthy. I mean, it's great to open up and expand, and it sounds like obviously the radio audiences are willing to expand and accept more diverse kinds of music. So that's great that it's getting the kind of airplay and attention in Israel that it deserves on a world level. Yeah. So that's wonderful. Do you speak other languages?
I speak only Hebrew.
Only Hebrew.
And when I speak in English, I have a funny accent.
You do? I didn't hear it.
No?
We're talking with Idan Rachel, who has the Idan Rachel Project out now and on tour. How long have you been on tour for this project in the United States now?
We don't have the privilege, like American artists who are composing an album, taking the time to write, and then going on the road, and then taking time off. We are mostly on the run all the time. So I'm touring for the past 15 years, and then you're writing songs in hotels, and you have kind of a mobile mobile studio, and you're recording in hotels rooms, and then you edit a bit in Israel. So you're always on the run.
The
always
technology's changed so much in the business from
Yeah.
even 15 years ago. Now everybody can do things with a laptop and Pro Tools.
Yeah. Even here, we are in the studio, the two of us, and
That's
I see
right.
that 4 cameras are shooting us.
That's right. And not a single cameraman in this room.
Yes.
4 cameras, not one cameraman in here.
You see?
Technology, it's amazing.
Yeah. The next level is with 2 computers will replace us.
Have you toured outside of the United States and Israel? Have you performed your music in Ethiopia and other places like that?
Yes, yes. I've been touring all over the world. We were lucky when we playing our music in Israel. People define it as Israeli music, but once we start traveling all over the world, people start to define this music as world music, and we are playing in world music festivals, performing art centers all over the world. At the beginning, it was a bit weird for me, this definition to this genre. What is world music? And then I actually realized it's a great honor for us as world music artists, who are all those artists who are composing the soundtrack of the place that they're coming from. Yeah.
And you've been on some of the world's biggest stages and here in the United States as well. Central Park you performed and
Yeah.
quite a few big performances. Would you perform again for us here? Right now we're performing for the world in 100 countries. And
You see?
we'd love to have you do some more music.
Indeed.
What's
So,
this one called?
This one is a new one without a title, you know? Pick a title.
All right, let the audience name it.
Yes. That's it. Join us now on Facebook.
Here's Idan Rachel on The Voice of America.
No dreams to share, no tales to tell, no secrets, no more lies, no hidden place, no broken heart. My friend, it's been a while, been waiting, I prepared myself, no makeup, just a deep breath, and here I am as you turn and go and leave me by myself. No dreams to share, no tales to tell, no secrets, no more lies, no hidden place, no broken heart. My friend, it's been a while, been waiting, I prepared myself, no makeup, just a deep breath, and here I am as you turn and go and leave me by myself. I loved you, took me higher than the clouds and deeper than the sea. I loved you till the ends of the land, and closer, closer every day. just a deep breath, and here I am as you turn and go and leave me by myself.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Beautiful sound. Beautiful sound. Now, I notice how you combine a lot of things with the pedal.
Yes.
And so you experiment a lot. Do you create sounds with other instruments?
Yes. I brought today just this kind of drum pad and some samples that I'm sampling, different drummers from around the world, and I'm just playing it and looping it with this little pedals here.
That seems to be the in thing now, you know, the loop pedal. I mean, you know, Ed Sheeran does that. He can go up on stage by himself and create a whole giant orchestra kind of sound. You had a little tea bag, I think. That was what you were tapping on the tea bag there. That's what I thought, your tea bag.
I have to say that I still prefer live musicians, to feel the chemistry, that something will surprise you. That
And one of the early musics for you was jazz. I mean, I read where you had kind of studied jazz early on.
Yeah, I was listening to Duke Ellington and later on to Miles Davis and of course Charlie Parker. From pianists that I love, Keith Jarrett and people that are, I was always fascinated by their amazing ability to play the moment. This would capture my heart mostly.
Now, when you perform here in the United States and you meet people in America and they find out that you're from Israel, what's the first question they ask you? What's the most common question as an Israeli musician, a resident of Israel, that you get asked here?
Are you riding a camel?
Now, I also, there's a kind of a myth, because I have a lot of friends from Israel, that, what we see in the news, a lot of bombing and a lot of tragedy, and it seems like a very unsafe place to be. But quite actually, it's not that way at all. Those are isolated incidents that, unfortunately, that's what we hear about, is the bombings and things like that.
We live in a conflict area. There are many conflict areas in the world. And news, their job is to show what they want to show. I highly recommend to all the people who are want to check by themselves, just to come to see. It's one of the greatest countries that you'll ever visit. I can promise you that. Very tiny. You can cross in a car from east to west within 45, 60 minutes. That's it, from east to west. And within from south to north, within, I guess, 6-7 hours if you drive like I drove before they took my driving license. And then maybe 8 hours.
That's right.
And then
it took you 30 minutes to go from one part to the other. That's right. Wait a minute.
And then I think that and you have the desert, desert in the south, and snowing in the north. Multicultural, 24/7 hectic kind of New Yorkish Tel Aviv, and then 30 minutes from there, the most ancient, the oldest city in the world, Jerusalem.
Yes.
Parties and the greatest, one of the greatest gay parades in Tel Aviv. It's all one big party, and then the ultra-Orthodox community lives 15 minutes from there in Bnei Brak. It's just so interesting.
And people are so nice too. That's another thing. The Israeli people are very, very nice people. Yeah.
Once you get used to it, you understand that it's right, because people will say to you always what they think. So we see it as a very nice and warm, and yes is a yes, no is a no.
And what's the symbol on your neck? I've seen that quite often. What does that reflect?
Hamza. It's just for luck. It's also and known also in the Jewish world, but also in the Muslim world as the hand of the mother of the prophet, Fatima hand. And I carried with me for like the past 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of good luck. And I know you've performed for many, many very famous people in your career. President Barack Obama. You
Yeah.
performed for the president.
Twice for the president, but I was thinking recently. I had this. I'll tell you a story about one concert for President Obama. I played here in D.C. and there was at Martin Luther King Day, and I needed to catch the flight very fast. 30 minutes after the concert, I was already in flight to Israel. I landed in Israel and I got a text. My phone people know my phone number in Israel. I got a text that one father texted me that his child is 4 years old, and he's dying from cancer. And he asked me if I'm willing to play for him a song. And I was 12 hours before super excited, with the concert for Barack Obama. And then 13 hours after, I found myself in a taxi right from the airport playing for this child, just one-on-one in his hospital bed. And I think that also Barack Obama will agree with me that this concert at the hospital there was more important. Sometimes we are making a big deal from, the titles, but I think that there are little things that reminds you during, around this long road, what is really important.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of a statement to who you are and the kind of person you are. And I know that that's reflected among your followers, your fans, your friends, and of course your music as well reflects that too. And so, again, I wanted to thank you for giving us the opportunity to get to know you, because it is a thrill for us. We, on Border Crossings, feature a lot of, the pop stars, but to get somebody in the studio who is an international world music star, to us, that's a great honor. So thank you for
having me.
Yes. And I know you're going to do another song for us.
Yes. I have to admit that I didn't plan what to play.
Okay, that's all right.
That's good. What do you prefer, in English or Hebrew?
How about a combination?
Let's go for it. All right, let's go. Let's do a combination. Okay, let's go for it. Okay.
What's this called?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll give it a name as we go.
Give it a name. Facebook. Yes. Have a title. All right. It's all new songs. I don't know. I don't have. Oh, I'm sorry for the. Yeah, I don't have a title. Anyway.
Right. Doesn't need it. It's untitled. That's what it's called.
Untitled 2.
Untitled.
We already have the first one. Yeah, this is Untitled 2. All right.
יורד הערב ומציף בשקט, בחלונות בתים בשור קלוש. זה שביל עפר חשוך מוביל אל הבית, ונביחות כלבים קוראים לשלום. אני הולכת לאיבוד ערב ערב, ומחייכת לעצמי כשנזכרת. זה לא דומה בכלל למה שחשבתי, כשדמיינתי שנהיה גדולים. וזה מרגיש כל כך פשוט ורגוע, אין סופות שמאירות לחיים. וזה לא מה שתמיד חלמתי, אבל זה מספיק טוב בשבילי. אתה זוכר בכלל דברים שחלמנו, מקומות יפים, ערים רחוקות, הכל יהיה תמיד לטובתנו, ואז נחיה את כל החלומות. אני הולכת לאיבוד ערב ערב, ומחייכת לעצמי כשנזכרת. זה לא דומה בכלל למה שחשבתי, כשדמיינתי שנהיה גדולים. וזה מרגיש כל כך פשוט ורגוע, אין סופות שמאירות לחיים. וזה לא מה שתמיד חלמתי, אבל זה מספיק טוב בשבילי. You are forever in my every second. Tomorrow knows to leave our love alone. The feel of sorrow now releasing my body from every heartache that is hard ever known. The neon light already holding the bridge, the gentle voice in the very side of me calls. It's all around the world and the people can feel it. Our praise rising as the evening falls. every life there is a person missing. In every lesson a new lesson evolves. And like a puzzle with some pieces missing, will be complete when the evening falls. ואל תבטיח לי שפעם יהיה עוד מילים כאלה נשטפות עם הזמן. הכל משחק חיים שלמים נעלמו כבר, בים של אבודים היינו עוד גם.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Lovely. And on the fly, too. Look at that.
You see?
See that? You ask and he delivers. Idan Rachel, the Idan Rachel Project. Anybody you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet? Are there people on your wish list?
It can be everyone. That just have no, actually, not someone specific. But I love people that are just have interesting stories from the place that they are coming from. Just that they don't want to be someone like someone. It's just coming and playing who they are. It can be someone from a village in Mali, or someone from Detroit, or someone that wants to write about the place that he grew up in, lived in.
Do you have a favorite place you like to play?
I would love to play in China. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I cannot play there.
Why?
I'll tell you what. I played.
Okay.
I played at the Peace Nobel Prize.
Okay.
In Norway,
All
right? Back in 2010. Now they got it. They sent me an invitation to play the Peace Nobel Prize. Who wouldn't do it?
Right.
I just came and
Sure.
I played, and then China canceled all my concerts in China, and I realized that the one that got the award was a Chinese prisoner. So they don't let me get into China.
Because of your association with the event.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say that if the consul or the ambassador of China listen to this interview, please let me in.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, to have you in our studios, and you're a truly talented and inspirational musician. And so we would like to invite you back again.
Thank you.
If you're ever in the Washington, D.C. area. And it sounds like you are quite frequently. So moving forward for the year ahead, what are the plans for Idan Rachel in 2018? What do you, just more touring?
Mostly to be a good father.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
How many children?
I have four. No, four. I have two children. That the older Pipa is 4, and Salo is 2.5.
Wow.
And yeah, I've been touring
Mazel
a lot.
tov.
Thank you. Oh, you see? Working here on your Hebrew.
That's it.
That's it? That's your Hebrew?
That's
Mazel
it.
tov?
That's what Tov Ma'od.
Tov Ma'od. Yeah. All
Which
right.
is thank you.
Yeah.
Tov Ma'od.
Yeah. So yeah, I tell you what, I was on a tour for like many months, and then my daughter, she was 3.5. She called me and said, Papa. I said yes. I said, are you angry with me? I said, no. Why would you think so? She said, why are you not coming home?
Oh.
She said, no, I'm not angry with you. I'm angry with your sister. No, just kidding. No, just kidding. No, just kidding. Just kidding. So I said, no, I'm
earning money to buy you more toys.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, well, maybe it's time to be a bit at home and to play in Israel, and then maybe on late 2018 or early 2019 to come back again here to this amazing America.
Well, we welcome you with open arms.
Thank you.
Where can people go to get the album, the project? Where can they buy your CDs?
I guess on iTunes, Spotify. I don't know. Are there any CD shops here? Not really, right?
I really don't know. I haven't seen any. The Virgin music stores are gone. I don't see those kinds of things
I think,
anymore.
iTunes and Spotify, if you find some.
Everything's online now.
Yeah.
And how about your website? Is there a link to get your CD there?
Actually, I'm thinking that if I'll say now my website is such a long one with my accent, Idan Rachel, people will not know how to write. So go just Google my name, which is Idan, IDAN, and
The hard one is the last name.
The hard one, yeah, the last name. The last name is like, but it's Raichel with I.
Okay.
It's Raichel. You know what? I'm gonna do a brave thing.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to give people my email. And if people wants to email me, I'm getting them to, but don't write me like now tons of emails.
to say to me, where can I get your album? And I'll send you links.
And
all
maybe
right?
China will invite you to the concert.
If
on your
I'm
email.
getting now 250 million emails, I don't know what I'm going to do. Please don't do it. But, my email is IRP. I like Israel, R for Russia, P for project, irp.mailbox@gmail.com.
All right.
I guess this is something that no one did before, right?
No one ever gave their email address. Ever, on the air.
irp.mailbox@gmail.com. I think that my phone is exploding now.
It's smoke coming out
yeah,
of it.
smoke. yeah.
Facebook, you're on Facebook, Twitter. all-
Yes.
And people
same.
can find you where?
Facebook, Twitter, same. And
What's the address that people would go to?
Idan Rachel. So it's
Rachel.
IDAN and Rachel with I. Raichel.
Thank you very much for being
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.
We loved hearing from you and come back again.
Thank you.
All right, it's Idan Rachel. The Idan Rachel Project is the name of the latest album. And he's on tour here in the United States for a bit longer and on tour for the rest of the world as well. So go to his website and check him out. I'm Larry London, and this is Border Crossings.